What's up, y'all? I'm back out here on the range, as you can see back behind me, on a nice sunny day. Temperature's supposed to get just above 70 out here today, so it ought to be a good one to get some testing done. I got a few really interesting things on the agenda, and we're gonna start it out with a revisit to a little bit of 9mm. So the jelly contraption set up, ready to go with the chronos and 2 fresh blocks of gel. No test done at all yet, so a really nice clear picture of what happens with this one. I'm using a heavy clothing barrier as always. It's got a layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And what we got for this one is a redo of some IMI Systems 9mm. This is their die-cut JHPs. We got the 115 and the 124. Now, I tested this quite a while back in bare gel before I've got my new setup and without all the data and all that stuff. So I've been meaning to go back and retest several of these, and I actually had somebody in one of my recent videos ask me to do this retest, so I figured it was a good time to get this one done. Here's your cartridge there. Brass case was what they're calling that die-cut projectile. Now again, I have tested these in bare gel. It's been quite a while ago, and from what I can remember, they both did pretty well. Nothing, you know, incredible, but nothing I can remember having complaints about, so hopefully they'll hold up that way through the cloth. Now, as far as what I'm running them out of, it's the same exact thing as before, and this was requested to be used again. It's the Taurus GX4 with the 3-inch barrel. So hopefully this stuff holds up going through the cloth. Let me get it reset and let's see what they can do. All right, let's see how fast they're moving out here today. I'm gonna do a 5-round average on each one of them, starting with this 115 first. Now, like I mentioned every single time, if y'all aren't familiar with this lab radar, you're gonna get multiple readings. The large number is gonna be at the muzzle, and then the 5 additional, one set for 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet. And then you got 10, 15, 25, and 50. Let's see what these things do. I glanced back at the previous video just to see, make sure they did pretty well in the bare gel, and they did as far as expansion and performance in the gel. I think I remember the velocities being like around 1100 for these and right at 1000 for the 124. So let's see what we get out here. 1122, 1130, 1070, 1122, and 1131, so not too bad. Let's check out that average. All right, so our 5-round average that time was 1115 feet per second. We had an extreme spread of 61 and a standard deviation of 25.6 because we had one of them drop down to 1070. I believe all the rest of them were right there close to each other, so not too bad, nothing incredibly hot, but it don't claim to be. I think that should be enough to overcome that cloth and do well in the gel. Well, let's get it reset and let's check out the 124s. All right, let's see what this 124 grain does, y'all. 1007, 1021, 1010, 1024, and 1021. So it seemed like we had one that was kind of out from the rest on that one too. Let's check out the average. All right, so definitely slower that time. We had a 5-round average of 1017, an extreme spread of 17, and a standard deviation of 7.5. So not even close to something like that plus P plus 9mm that I run, but again, it was not claiming to be. So 1017 on this one, and if you remember on the 115s, it was 1115. So you're talking about 98 feet per second faster with the lighter projectile. So I'd call that a pretty significant difference. Now, will it make a difference in the gel? I don't know. That 124 has got me a little bit worried because of the cloth, but hopefully they both do good. Let's reset this stuff, and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's IMI Don't Make Me Cry jelly time. I'm gonna put one of each into the gel, starting with this 115 first. Now, I feel pretty confident this 115 is gonna do what it needs to do to overcome this cloth, so not real worried about this one. All right, that should have been a good one, but I see a real long track down there. Let's go see what we got. Well, it looks like I was way too optimistic on that stuff right there. That's a total failure. I'm sure y'all can see already. Let's see what happens. This cloth is just too much for it. This 124 ain't got a chance. I'll be very surprised. All right, that should be another good one. Let's go down there and take a look at them. All right, let's check out this big double whammy down here, y'all. Really disappointing stuff here. I know you're probably looking at the disruption and saying, what in the heck's he talking about? But y'all know what that is. That's nothing but tumbling. So on the top here, that was the 115. You can see it comes in here, no expansion. You can tell just barely any disruption until it starts that tumbling right there. Keeps on trucking, carries into this second block. Now it starts dumping some cloth, but at that point, it's just too late. It carries into this second block and probably close to about halfway through, and it's sitting down here backwards with no expansion. And then basically the same story on the bottom with the 124. Comes in here, very little disruption again until it starts tumbling right there. Got a bunch of disruption from that tumbling, keeps on trucking again, dumps the cloth out right there, but it's too late at that point. Carries on through here, and this one, I mean, these things look exactly the same. I believe these are exactly the same down to a 1/16 of an inch as far as penetration. And as far as how much that is on the 115, it's out here to 22.5, and sure enough, I can already tell they're close enough together that I can see 22.5 also on that 124. So exactly the same penetration on both of these and absolutely no expansion. And here's your close look again on the top 115, bottom 124. You can see it comes in here, no kind of action going on until that tumbling right there from both of them. Then as you can see, it carries on through, and you can see what I mean. You can see that cloth that it started trying to dump. At that point, it was too late. On into this second block. And there you see both of them. That right there is the 115, and then on the bottom, the 124. And then same deal from the top here. As you can see, no kind of real disruption until that tumbling into the second block. And there you see them sitting exactly the same distance. All right, quick look at the projectiles, and it's gonna be pretty quick because as you can see, there's nothing really to look at here. Completely intact. Now, this is the 115, this is the 124. In person, I can see a little bit more kind of deformation, I guess, if you wanna call it, or flaring from this 115, but nothing even close to expansion. As you can see, it's still got a little bit of shreds of cloth in it. I think these projectiles just got totally shut down by that cloth. But let's get us a few measurements on them anyway, since we've got them out. The 115 here, as far as weight, is 115.0, so obviously nothing lost there. I don't expect anything on this 124 either. We got 123.7, so nothing lost on either one of those. And then if we get a couple measurements on them, the 115, your base is looking like 352 with a length of 541, and then the 124 here, you got a base of 356 and a length of 570. And there you go, y'all, the IMI Systems Die-Cut JHP in 115 and 124 grain. Very disappointing right here. I was really hoping this stuff would do well based on the bear gel. I mean, like I said, they did pretty well from what I can remember and what I looked at real quick on the video. This cloth, though, as you can see, just completely shut them down. So even though these can be found for a pretty good bargain, after seeing this, I personally wouldn't go seeking them out, and I'm going to probably be moving these from my 100% good to go pile into the questionable under certain circumstances pile. All right, y'all, I'm gonna wrap it up right there for what was a pretty disappointing way to start out the day of testing. I can't say I'm really surprised by this. Like I mentioned at the start, through the bear gel, they both did a fine job, but they didn't do anything spectacular. And the 124 seemed like it was right on the edge there of wanting to expand well, so adding this heavy cloth just shut them right down. As far as speculating about what a longer barrel would do through the cloth, it's really hard to say, but based on what I'm seeing right here, I mean, this was really not even an attempt to expand, so I don't know that adding a little bit longer barrel would do that much difference when it comes to overcoming this cloth. But if enough people are interested in seeing me try it and see what it does through a longer barrel, I'm not opposed to that, so let me know down in the comments. But let me know what y'all think about it. Those of y'all who've watched the channel for a while and have seen the bear gel test of these, were you surprised that they failed so hard adding this heavy clothing? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If you did enjoy the videos, reach down and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you got your notifications notifications turned on so you get notified when I upload new stuff. Like I always remind you, if you're doing some shopping, hit up those affiliate links in the video description. Anything you buy after hitting those links down there, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really do appreciate that. As always, a big thanks to my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel. I've got a couple more interesting things that hopefully go better than this one right here did, so stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.